Hello, it is finals week, and you have hopefully submitted your final project paper that was due on Monday of the beginning of this week, and you had peer reviews, and it closes Friday night. I will be grading those on Saturday and Sunday, so you'll see those go in. Now you're shifting into the finals week, and your goal is only focusing in on your final exams. So the student learning outcomes for this class, we're really focused in on 5 areas. And when I wrote the final exam, I wrote it to make sure that I hit on these student learning outcomes to make sure that I was assessing. So you're thinking, what is going to be on the final exam? Well, I can tell you that definitely I have a question that will be going over the difference between misuse and abuse. So before you take the final exam, make sure you look that up and really get your head wrapped around that. We just talked about that in this class, and there's definitely a distinction between someone misusing a drug and abusing a drug. Now, of course, those could be done at the same time, and someone could be doing drug abuse while misuse. But anyway, I want you to know the distinction. I also want you to know the drug laws. And so one of the things we really focused in on was the schedule of the different schedules of drugs from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you know that I'm going to be hitting on that assessment question. And then, the role of FDA. And we didn't hit in detail on the discussion questions about the role of FDA, but your book does a great job of this. So go back and really look how FDA does a screening of their drugs, the 3 different stages that they do when they're going through approving a drug. Now, FDA is the federal agency that regulates legal drugs, illicit drugs, and of course the Drug Enforcement Agency oversees and looks out to make sure, a federal agency that looks out to make sure that we do not have an out of control illicit drug use, illicit being illegal. Now, right now, as we all know, we have an opiate crisis happening in the United States, and we will sometimes see, a lot of times, legal drugs, illicit drugs, become a problem and are illegally used. So take a look at that in chapter 3. Detail. If I was you, I'd go back to chapter 4 and chapter 5 and review it completely. Make sure you understand the neurotransmitters. Do you know GABA? Do you know dopamine? Do you remember how these neurotransmitters, how they make us feel? And a lot of the drugs that we talked about during this semester either block the reuptake of a neurotransmitter, making a person feel a certain way, or they mimic, as in the case with marijuana and cannabinoid, mimicking anacannabinoid. So take a look at your neurotransmitters, chapters 4 and 5, where it really talks about this. And that's a big hint for you to go back. And you will see that I even opened up the chapter reviews for 4 and 5 to make sure that you review those before you take the final exam. Number 4, we really talked about the drugs that are used in Kern County. And a couple times in the PowerPoints, I really talked about how meth is the drug that is most abused in our county. That doesn't mean that we don't have other drug issues, but meth is something that we really focused in on. That's a stimulant, and Kern Meth now has some really good stats on that. But also, I had you in your projects really take a look at what the problems are in Kern County. And then number 5 is really your final projects. That's what we really hit on. So in your assignments, you'll see that everything, you can group them to make sure that you see them by, my computer's taking a while, is everything's grouped. So your assignments and discussion post, that was worth 10%, and I'm dropping the 2 lowest there. So if you missed a couple of those, you're fine. The chapter reviews, I dropped the 2 lowest. So I reopened some of these. So go back through, and if you see that I've reopened them, see where it says available until, you can go back and try to get those in. Some of those are still open. You can try to get those in, and I will be dropping 2 of those. And then you'll see that's worth 10%. Your quizzes were worth 20%. And here's the great thing is I'm dropping 2 of your quizzes. So if you did all 5 of your quizzes, you get the luxury of 2 of your lowest ones dropping. So I would make sure that you take a quiz 5 before you take the final, especially if you've done all your quizzes, because you could just really see how you're doing. And if you're missing some of your quizzes, then I would jump in and make sure you get that quiz 5 done and that quiz 4 done. Midterms done, that's closed. Final exam, I went ahead and I opened it on Sunday at noon. That is the earliest this it was going to open on Monday, guys, but I went ahead and opened it on Sunday because someone pinged me and said, please, can you open it early? So I'm opening it early for that person who pinged me. I went ahead and I did it. I got it done. It's going to be open on Sunday, okay? Sunday at noon. So get everything done and then hit it on Sunday at noon, okay? And so you'll see there when we hit on the final exam that you will have 50 multiple choices and 9 essay questions. Yes, 9 essay questions. You have a total of 2 hours to complete this, which is very doable. You will have 1 attempt. It opens at Sunday at noon. See right there, Sunday at 12 p.m. And it will close on midnight at Thursday. Now, let me tell you something, guys. I'm not going to extend this. So when I say it closes on Thursday at midnight, please do not ping me at 10:45 and tell me that you got technology problems. I'm opening it early so you can get it done, okay, without a technology problems. And please get to a high-speed connection. Go to the library, you know, go someplace where you know you can get high speed and you don't have to worry. And then let's see here, 9 questions. And then I also did this thing too where you're going to see everything all at once. So that if you want to do your essay questions first and then go back to your multiple choice, you can. And know that the exams are going to be different between people. So it's pulling from a different, some things are going to look differently, okay? So with that in mind, I wish you all the best of luck. You won't need it because you've been studying. And know that I will be posting your grades on Thursday. When you see that grade, when everything closes and it says closes, that's your grade. And what you could do before your finals is you can also look to make sure that everything is filled out. So I'm going to be going in and putting zeros in everything where there's a 0. You need to make sure that during this week that there's nothing that's missing. Do not contact me on Thursday or Friday. That's too late. You got to do it now. The other thing too, extra credit, what you're going to do is you're going to see that some of these are going to slide into either community report, the final exam, or the midterm exam. If you did any of these extra credits, you will see them go in and it will boost your grade. But you will see that throughout the week, okay? So in other words, it's not going to go in on Thursday. You're going to see it on Monday. So whatever you see your grade is on Monday, that's what you're going into the final exam with. I will be grading on Saturday and making sure everything is good to go. So with that, if you have any questions, feel free to Canvas message me. I'm 100% focused in on this, and I hope you enjoyed this online class. I know for me, it's very interesting. I think this is just great, interesting material, and I hope you saw how fascinating it is, how drugs really change our chemistry and how they are like psychoactive agents, right? They change the chemistry in our brain, and we can become physically or psychologically addicted to them. And so it's really important to always read about a drug or to understand how a drug is affecting you. And each person is affected differently. So with that in mind, be very aware of what you're doing and what you're taking, and always read up on a drug before you take it. All right? With that, I hope to see you guys in my classes in the future, and have a great break.